good thing. Must be too late to go live. If anybody's watching, let me know, because I have no idea. All right. Who's in here? Who's in here? Let's see here. Waiting to see how many people I can get in here, if any. Obviously, one person. I don't know who that is because I've never done live stream before. Gone. That's why I don't do live. Yes. How do we know? Let's see here. Let's say. Car here. Let's see this. Well, I'm just going to do some tank maintenance on a breeding tank that I have on a hang-on. Whoa, wait a minute. How are we going to do this? Let's flip it. Let's flip it. Can I flip it? Cannot flip it. No, I don't want to do that. There we go, there we go. All right, well, in case you're wondering what I'm up to, 210 Aquatics. I've got this breeding pair of angels. Actually, I've got 4 breeding pair. I'll just tell you, I'll put the tripod down. I'll pan it over to get this show started. I just thought I would just do a little trial run on a live stream because I've got something that I need to do, and I figured why not put it on YouTube. That is a pair of I have a black angel with a female black laced angel in there. I got a marble bells pair that are happy to produce anytime. It's been a while since I've had them. Just reacquired them. My Philippine blues are going to be the subject here, but I'm really excited about this other pair I've gotten from a friend, Melanie. Look at that tiger. And he's paired up with, I guess, black female laced, maybe like a silver black laced angel. I really couldn't tell you. I know they're paired up, but I'm waiting for them to start. reproducing. Look at that, cleaning the slate. It's good. These are good signs. So I've got 4 breeding pair of angels, but right now what I'm going to do is this Philippine blue pair put out a bunch of eggs, and on a slate, and they've actually laid eggs before. However, let me just raise this tripod up and give you guys a better look. Bear with me here. Let's see. Sorry for the shakiness. It's all for good reason here. I'm trying to get you guys a good look here. Just a second here. While I get some extension on this tripod legs. Alright, here we go. Okay. I know. Orientation lock. Okay. What's going on here with this tripod? Maybe that's why. Okay. I'm really trying to get this tripod. Oh, see, I got more leg to release. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna fix this. How about this? All right, whoops. You guys still with me? All right. I apologize if anybody's chatting here and I'm not responding. I can't see that part right now. This is happening from my Galaxy 22 Ultra. So they had a slate. They put a bunch of eggs on that slate, and I don't want them to fungus, so I'm helping them along. I took the slate out. I dumped it into this hang-on back. Oh, I don't know what you want to call that. I can't remember. I did a video on this little device here. You can put fry in it, all that good stuff. Hook up an air bubbler up to a lift tube, and it'll bring in the water from the tank they were spawned in. And so basically, I could have this 20-gallon tank of water trickling through here and then dumping right back in. So everything is good here in this tank. Now, I don't have that action going right now, otherwise all the methylene blue that I have in this with the tank water that's in here would be going right back into the tank. So the methylene blue, for those who don't know, is just it's an antifungal, and it helps to keep the eggs, which I'm going to get you a close-up here in a second so you'll see them, but it helps to keep the eggs from fungusing as much as possible. I'm not going to say it works completely because I've got eggs that are starting to fungus, and I really want to yield something from this batch of eggs. I'm going to pan over here real quick and just kind of show you. There's a slate there for these guys, and then if you look farther over, you can see a slate there. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to start doing, because obviously nobody's here. Whoever was here is left. I have bored you. All right, so there we go. There's some eggs. Look at that. You see those eggs? The white ones are fungused. I have the air stones in here. And typically, the angelfish themselves would be fanning these eggs. But they're adolescents. They're adolescent adults, and they're still new at it. And the male or the female will start getting tired of fanning and getting hungry, and they'll start eating some of these eggs. Or the eggs will start fungusing. So if you could follow along, I'm going to see if I can't knock down the 1 or 2 fungused eggs that I see with an odd device here. Now, I am going to be moving some things around, but I'll put the light back on over so you can see this. I'm going to use a DC auto tester meter. Looks kind of like, let's see, looks kind of like that. Now, I'm just going to use the tip. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take out a little fungus egg. See, what happens is, once these eggs start fungusing, the fungus will just hop on along over to the next egg that's touching. And before you know it, you're not looking at eggs anymore. You're just looking at a lot of white fungused eggs. So, at the risk of screwing up the shot, let me just do a little moving here, just so I can get in here. Now I am noticing, give me 1 second, that I have some eggs actually on the slate that are actually just above the water line. I didn't realize I've actually had some evaporation, but that's an easy fix. I'm just going to take some water. I'm going to top it off. So let me do that first. There we go. There we go. All right, that's done. So I'm going to keep talking through this even though nobody's here, because I'm not going to delete this video. So I've got some cheater readers on to help my vision. And let's see if I can't do this here. Let's see. Now you're going to see this probe. Actually, you know what I'll do is I'll take away the bubbles for a second. How about that? There you go. That's probably a better view right there. And I don't know if it's going to come out for you on the camera, but trust me, I'm not planning on messing with any good healthy eggs. Now I'm going to do the first one. I don't know if this first one gets into the shot, but there we go. Whoops. There we go. So I'm just going to be very careful. Knock that guy out. I don't know if that comes in out. See this guy? I know you guys can see that one right there. You got to have steady hands. Let's get it right there. Needs to come off. Bye-bye. I might have knocked one egg off too with it, but that's okay. Knock that guy off. Do you have to do this? No, you don't have to do this. Not good. Okay, I got it off. You might knock a couple of eggs off, but and it's got to be like 150, 200, maybe 300 eggs on this slate. And I'll just kind of fan it out of there. There we go. This one's going bad too. Sorry about the shakes, man. It's because I'm on a ladder too. It doesn't help. All right. Now, let's see, I can't. So that one there took an egg, but hopefully that other egg will just fall and be okay by itself at the bottom of the tank, and maybe still will generate a fish for me. Now one more up here on top. I don't know if you can see it. There. Falling, falling. Come on. Get down there. That's it. Okay. I'm going to knock that guy out too, because he looks like he's starting to fungus. Let me go. Well, there we go. Okay. Everybody else in here looks good. I'm happy. So I took down the fungus eggs. They're at the bottom here somewhere. A few good eggs may have fallen out too, but again, they can still actually hatch and become fish as long as they don't fungus here at the bottom of the breeder tank. The next move for me right now is because, again, the way to keep them from fungusing, if there's no methylene blue, and I'm not involving myself, is that the parents have to sit there and fan up and down with their finnage over these eggs to keep them from fungusing. So in order to replicate that, put an air stone here. I got two actually, because of the way I have the slate in here. I mean, there's just that many eggs on the slate. And I'm glad they laid the eggs, or the female actually put the eggs on the slate, that I can actually put the entire slate, or the surface part where the eggs are on, in to the breeder box in such a way that I don't have to worry about certain eggs outside or above the water line. So I kind of lucked out there. Didn't necessarily have to be that way, but I lucked out. So I'm taking full advantage. I'm trying to right now move this other air stone over. This air stone here, I don't have a control knob on it, so it's a little bit faster rate of flow on the bubbles. I don't want to risk knocking any eggs off. So I've got that one kind of just sort of half underneath the slate, so not the entire rush of bubbles are hitting the eggs. And then this other one, I've got a control knob on it, so the rate of flow is decreased. I don't mind having the bubbles kind of flowing right over, but I'm using two air stones because I want to make sure that I've got the bubbles and the water movement going over the entire surface of where the eggs were laid. I'm just trying to basically let go of this airline tubing in a way where the air stone's basically capturing, or rather causing more airflow and fanning most of the eggs. But right now, because I'm talking with you guys and I'm on a ladder and I'm trying to mess with this air stone, which you can't see my hands, but you can obviously tell I'm working the air stone or the airline tube to position the air stone to my liking, right? So it's a little tricky actually. I'm trying not to bore anybody and keep you informed at what's going on with the action here on the camera, and at the same time failing at what I'm trying to accomplish, because I just am right now. Let's see here. Let me concentrate here for a second. So again, just to reset, these are Philippine blue angelfish eggs. I am hoping I can get to spawn these guys. They've scattered eggs before for me, but again, they were younger, and I just don't think that the eggs were big enough, and they certainly were eating them. They were fungusing quickly, and I was in the middle of breaking down all of my tanks too, so I just wasn't ready. I'm almost ready now that I can entertain the idea and perhaps put myself in a situation where I'm actually forced to take some action to get some tanks set up once these guys turn into wigglers. This is day two. All right, so let's back up here. Let's just back it up. Let's lower it for a minute. I'm going to lower the tripod. I'm going to back the tripod up. There's the stars of the show. All right, let's back up for a second. Okay, shall I get in front of the camera now? Can we do that? Oh man. How about we flip it? Let you guys get a look here. A few other things. All right. So I cleaned out my garage, and I'm slowly incorporating some tanks in here. And that's a 36-gallon bow front. That's empty. I've only got 2 tanks in the house running right now. Again, I've got 4 breeder angels and 20 highs on this rack here. What else can I tell you about this setup? Well, down here I was originally thinking, let me lower the tripod here for a second. So if these eggs hatch, I'm gonna have to go somewhere with them after a bit, probably after like maybe a week or 2 that they're in here. and I'm going to go into a 10. I was thinking I'd go on the second tier of shelving here on the 10 and just start stacking 10s down here, because you're going to have steps of growth, right? Because what if I hit pay dirt and say I have 3 of the 4 pair spawning, maybe 1 week right after another, or 2 weeks in between each one, something like that. Or really pay dirt, it's like I could literally have a brand new set of angelfish eggs for every week of 1 month. You know, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but that's okay if it doesn't, because that would be like chaos. The whole point is that I'm going to have 10, I wanted to have 10 gallons down here, but I realized that when I first made this shelving system, I had no idea I was going to have this, or I would have planned better. Then this happened, okay? So when you put the 10 gallon down here now, I don't have enough clearance for my hands to go up and do any work. So I'm going around here. Actually, let me go this way, because I don't want to show you this yet over here, but on this side, I've got 2 20 long tank stands here. I'm thinking I'm going to, I've got 3 10 gallons going across and some plywood serving to cover the footprint of that, since they don't exactly match, obviously. They're for 20s, 20 longs. But I can fit 3. So if those eggs across the way need to get moved because they start to get bigger, I'm going to put them in a tank. It's going to be set up. One of these over here. We'll talk about what's going on in there in a second. So yeah, you'll have to have steps, right? Not only that, I've got everything going on in pH neutral. Let's back off. Let's go over this way again. I've got a Aqualife reverse osmosis system going on. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod now. We'll start a little tour action here, okay? Let me flip it. Let me flip it. There we go. All right. All right. Got a Nubius in here. I hope really they've been putting eggs down. These Marble Bell pair have been putting eggs down on the leaves. Their last owner was doing it that way, and then she would just pluck the leaf off, and I don't know exactly what she was doing. But I like to go the way of the slate. But I needed to go somewhere with the Anubias for now. So right now I've got Anubias in each one of these tanks with each breeding pair of angels. Give you another close-up of this. Alright, so back over here, let's go here, and there's my RO system. So everything is going to be completely pH neutral when it comes to, obviously, breeding the angels. But in San Antonio, the water doesn't come out of the tap pH neutral. It's about 8.5, 8.7. And if you're going to start putting fish into fish stores, they're going to want these fish to be acclimated already. So you can't take these fish that are going to yield for you in good numbers in pH neutral, grow them out in pH neutral, and then just acclimate them to, 8.5, 8.6. It's not going to work out for very long. Those fish could go belly up. So one of the stores that I feed, or was feeding, I'm not doing anything like that now, but maybe will again if I can start up again. Yeah, they appreciate, they want to be ready to sell these fish. So you got to have these fish acclimated already. And that's why you have to, as they're growing out, and you may have different generations, different sizes of fish that you're spawning with regards to angelfish, and you've got to have a step-up system. Okay, so it would still be a neutral tank here. They'd all go in here. I'd feed them. I'd start growing them out in here. And I might do maybe about maybe a few weeks, 2-3 weeks in here, long enough for 2 or 3 water changes. On the last water change, I might start seeing how they do, and I might start putting half tap in here, or less than half, maybe a maybe a third, a third of tap water in here, just to slowly start acclimating them. In here, it would be half. And so then I could either move them over or just keep them in the same tank. And just as I'm doing the water changes, I'm slowly adding more city water, tap, higher pH tap, to start acclimating the babies. But you still got to have more than one tank, regardless of which way I do it, whether I take them out, put them in another tank that's already a little bit more divided, or whether I just divide the water more with water changes, because I might have another spawn. So there's that. So back to my, so it's going to take more than, I'm going to have at least maybe 5 to 7 of those 10 gallons. Eventually, though, I'll have 240 breeders, which you may have seen in some of my other videos. I was using these 240 breeders. I had tons of angelfish in them when I had the fish room going. Those 40 breeders will be right down here side by side, and they will act to hold fish. So depending on how many angelfish I start producing, I start churning out. I don't know what the mix will be on the pH for those yet. It's kind of one of those, let's just see how it goes, because it's going to be a very fluid situation, depending on what I got, depending on what I got to move. So I don't know. But eventually, I've got this 60-gallon rimless cubed tank. There's a lot of up and down space here. I plan on having a lot of angels in here, fully acclimated, fully San Antonio pH tap water, dechlorinated, of course, in here. And I'll be featuring hopefully a bunch of beautiful homegrown angelfish in here. And the biggest ones will be in here, and they'll be ready to go, right? Unless they ship out first, or yeah, maybe some people will come by and pick some out and buy some. We'll see. I should put a light on here, but I'm not going to right now. So again, I got this tank, or this metal stand from a good friend, Melanie, who got out of the hobby. It's custom made to hold, as you can see, 6 20 longs. It's all metal. It's welded together. It's really neat. You'll appreciate this. Let's go underneath. Look at that. I don't have any substrate here at the bottom, but as you can see the way they did this, these tanks are being supported by the metal framing, which is, like I said, custom made to have these 20-gallon longs sit inside the frame housing. And the frame housing here on the border supports the entire outside frame of the tank. Isn't that awesome? It's a heavy metal stand. I could have painted it. I was going to. All this was going to go outside on my patio like I was thinking. But in the interest of time and work, and it's enough already getting all these tanks ready, I just said, I'm going to go in my garage. There's going to be less algae for me to contend with here, easier temperature control in here. So yeah, I get a lot more control over everything in the garage. So that's my setup right now. Like I said, I'm going to have to go along this wall as well. But as long as my wife can fit her car in here when I get the rest of this mess cleaned up, I should have no issues. I don't know what I'm going to do with this 36-gallon bow front. It's just going to be right here, right now. That also is a 20-gallon long stand. That is the leaf to our dining room table, which we never use. In fact, the table is so beat up that we just know we're going to get a new one anyways. And my wife told me to just throw the leaf away, and I'm like, there's no way. I got an idea for that. I can support the 20-gallon bow front. But it's going to look kind of weird and awkward in the house if I set it up in there. So right now, I'm leaving my options open. I might need it if I just start churning out some angels. I fully anticipate that I can and will because I have before. So what's this tank doing? This is the Polar Blues, the fry that I have left from the Polar Blues. One of my last videos, I set up a 20-gallon long tank for a buddy of mine who hooked me up and replaced the condenser in the SUV for me, my AC condenser. And in return, I said, thank you, man. I got a 20-gallon long tank. You don't have to do anything. I'm going to have the fish, the substrate, the sponge filter for you, the air bubbler, a light, and a stand. I hooked him up. And I know he's enjoying them, and I gave him 3 of these Polar Blues. And when I gave him the Polar Blues, I said, I'm not going to tell you what I gave you. You're going to watch them color up. Now, granted, they're in a 20 long, but I have a good feeling this buddy of mine's going to be like, yeah, man, give me a bigger tank. These guys are getting bigger. The great thing about Polar Blues, for a cichlid, they don't get very big. But these are very young fry. I wouldn't say babies. But they're not colored up yet. You can see I come out here, and I'm out here every day. And that's why they don't have a problem coming right up to the camera. These fish are pretty friendly. They have a real good demeanor to them. You come around a lot, and they consider you a friend. They got no problem just kind of hanging out with you. But like I said, not much to look at right now other than the fact that there's a bunch of them in a 10-gallon tank. This is a temporary situation here, obviously. I'm waiting for them to color up. I'm probably going to put them in one of these 20-gallon longs once they start getting a little bigger. I want to see maybe if I can move some of them out on Aquabid. If anybody wants any, let me know. Contact me. Share this video with some people that might be shopping for fish. I will ship anywhere in the continental United States. United States Postal Service priority, 3-day priority. So what's in the tanks? What's in the tanks? Well, I had a bunch of fish. I needed to go somewhere with them. So I've got my tangerine swords here. I've got a opaline blue gourami. These are the female Polar Blues. There you go. That's what they look like when they're grown out. It's a big community tank. All these guys were in a 55. So just a big mix of fish in here. I don't plan on keeping them like this. Like I said, I've been moving a lot of fish in a lot of tanks. And the 55's all cleaned out and empty. And I'll show you why here in a minute. You guys want to know why? Okay, I'm seeing some people here. Now I'm getting it. It's my first time. Hey, Mexi, I see you. It's my first live stream, dude. I'm really new at this, so I apologize. I see you guys are saying some things, but I have this thing, obviously, in landscape, and the text, as I'm sure you guys know who've done live streams, is not coming to me that way. It's stuck in vertical. I really dislike YouTube making it. Yeah, I know. I'm learning. But anyway, so my extra miscellaneous community fish are at a 20 long. I feel bad about it, but you know, what can I do? I don't have it all the way up. I actually drilled this tank a long time ago. I was doing something else. And I have a small leak now when I go about halfway up into the cut there. And so that's why it's at this level. Because I still need to use the tank. I just don't need it leaking on me. Down here I've got all of my plecos. Only 3 of the 7 or 8 of them in here were not born here, but the rest of them were. And so, again, they've been in different tanks and all that good stuff. Oh, I'll see if I can get you guys a shot. I know, it's horrible. The lighting's horrible right now. There's one guy there. But I was able to they bred for me basically, and so I've got them in here. You can't see them right now. I'm not gonna waste your time with that. I've got some cichlids in here. I've got one male. I believe they're Lake Malawa, or Lake Malawa. Am I saying that right? I'm not really big on cichlids yet. I believe I have the type of cichlids where and I can't think of their names, but at least I hope I have. The females are the orange, and then the males are like that blue. But I don't know, because I think the males are supposed to be like a powder blue, and I got this really cool electric blue looking cichlid. Maybe he'll come around. Maybe not. Probably not. I'm going to reach back here in a minute and turn on a light, and maybe that'll change some things. Up here, I've got some yellow lab cichlids. I did a little short, like 30 seconds long. I made this tank too good for them. There's too many caves, too many places for them to hide. There's 3 females, 1 male. And they don't come out for nothing when I'm out here. Once in a while. There you go. There's one. But they like to be right back in here. Hey, look at that. Well, they're not camera shy. They're just human shy. So YouTube is showing vertical. Oh, man, I'm sorry about that. Does that help? Can I only live stream like this? So you're sideways for us. I got you. Okay, well, I hope this helps, man. Sorry about that. I don't know how long it took me to, or how long you've been dealing with that. I apologize, man, but thank you for letting me know. Yeah, all right. I appreciate that, Empire. I appreciate it. I have this one lonesome Philippine blue up here. You know what? Let me get this light on here. Let's go back here. I'm going to show you something else. Anybody else did everybody else who's got multiple tanks run into like some electrical issues? Maybe some GFCIs popping, tripping your breakers? Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. So that's a process for me to YouTube how to live stream and set my screen parameters up then. Let's see here. I know I got a plug. Oh, by the way, I got a 40-gallon. When I'm making our RO water with that RO system back there, it feeds into this 40-gallon brute. And I'm full right now, which allows me to do 20 to 40% water changes. Actually, I can do 50% water changes on every single one of those 20-gallon longs over there for the angels I'm trying to breed. I have a pond outside with some gouramis I'm trying to do, and so I also I take the water from here out there as well. Right now, though, I want to get a light on. So let me just come back here. All right, let's plug this guy in. I think I'm going to plug this guy in. Yeah, let's do that. All right. I'm going to turn this dude on and see what happens here. Okay, let's come back around. That's the other thing. See, so these yellow labs like to hide, but then I just come back here and I'm like, I can see you. I will find you. I created all this for you. Well, look, they're still hiding. My God, they're good. Okay, enough of that. So, yeah, this Philippine blue, he's a male. No GFI problems yet. My wiring is pre-GFI. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I just replaced the GFCI last night, man, on this one. It popped, I guess, yesterday morning. It was red, and it would not reset. So I could not open my garage door. Thank God I didn't have my car in here the night before, because I'd have been stuck. Stuck like Chuck. So back to this guy. I call him Axel. He's paired up twice, and then he's killed his females. So I picture him singing that song, you know, about his girlfriend. Forgot how those lyrics go. I loved her, but I had to kill her. So that's Axel. So I don't know what I'm going to do with Axel, man. He's hard, man. He's a hard dude, you know. He don't take no shit. Yeah, a little bit better. I don't know that it helps here because I couldn't move the light. It doesn't really help. So I need some more lighting in here. But honestly, I don't mind because what I'll end up doing during the day. Yeah, look at them guys, man. What I'll end up doing during the day is I just crack. I just crack it open a bit. And I get natural daylight in here. So I won't even run these lights here. And it's all good. Did that angel survive the Oscars? I'm just seeing that. I got nothing in here right now. I got a bunch of mosquitoes trying to hang out. So I put an air bubbler in there just to kind of disturb the surface so I don't get a, big mosquito population in here. I put an air bubbler actually in that 40-gallon brute back there because that water sits and they find a way in. Well, then I got a problem, and I don't know if that's what it was, but earlier today I noticed on the wall I had like 10 little kind of adolescent-looking mosquitoes just hanging out here in this corner, up here. I grabbed a broom and opened the garage door all the way and just started, trying to get them out. I don't see many now, but you can see how if you're in the garage and you got a lot of water, you got a lot of humidity, a lot of potential for mosquitoes this time of year. It's coming. It's not even the hottest part of the year here in San Antonio. Yeah. So that's what's going on with me right now. Y'all haven't really done much because I've just been working so hard to break down a fish room that had 20 tanks in it and trying to figure out where I was going to go with these fish, where I was going to go with my tanks. Yes, I've got some guppies. Yeah, I don't even know how I got these guppies. Well, with a friend of mine, obviously, but I had one guppy, and obviously it was a female, and the next thing you know, down here actually, now there's a bunch of baby guppies around here somewhere. I haven't seen them in a while. Well, there we go. There's one. Two. There's more than that, though. But you're right. I would probably have to put guppies in all these tanks, or at least in that one. But I may go with the Polar Blues adolescent fry. I may have to put them over here in the very near future. So these tanks, I don't know what I'm going to do with these tanks. This is I know they're going to stay there, but as far as what's going to be in them, I'm not sure yet. I want to do something really cool with this setup. I never saw a stand like this before. My friend Melanie's getting rid of everything. She hurt her back. She had to get out of the hobby. And I'm blessed that she chose me to call and see if I wanted any of these things, including this 60-gallon rimless cube, which she purchased brand new for $2,000 about 4 years ago. I told myself I would never buy a used tank again after I had one burst on me in what used to be the fish room a few months ago. But since I knew the original owner of this and the length of time, and I know the store that she bought it from, they actually have this exact. I got the cabinet and everything with it. She bought these things together. I was actually at the store where she bought this, and they actually have this exact setup set up in their store still, and that tank is like going on 11 years. So I feel real good about this tank, man. It's tempered glass. I can't wait to, I would love to put this in a room inside the house. It deserves that. But I will tell you, a 60-gallon cube, I actually helped her. I actually took out all the substrate, everything, the fish. Man, this is a beautiful tank once it's set up. Whatever you can't go wrong setting up a tank like this. I don't care what you do with it. But if you have to get in there and do maintenance, you got to get your sleeves wet. You're gonna be on a ladder if you're my height. I'm like 5'4.5", My driver's license says 5'5". So you're going to be on a ladder, even if you're tall. I mean, you got to be like, you know, 6. Even if you're 6'4", it's still going to be a pain in the ass to come up here and reach in. I mean, your shoulders are going to get wet still, unless you're Wimbayama, then maybe not. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And I found that out just taking that tank down. It sat out on my back patio for a good 3 or 4 weeks. And then I'm like, okay, I got to clean this thing out and do something. And it's heavy. It's heavy. On my RO though, let me tell you about this RO. So, you know, I've got it where the wastewater, which is indicated by the red tube, the way everything worked out for me, I didn't plan all this, man. It just goes right in here and comes out the side of the house. Obviously, the blue line is the good water. It's going into the brute bucket. And I have a pump sitting at the bottom. I just plug it in. It starts pumping water out from this hose, which has this nice little gentle sprinkler head. And then I just come on over here after I've used another pump to take water out for water changes. I run the hose out to the street. That's where it goes. Or to some plants up front. Depends on how I feel. Depends on what's going on. And then, yeah, I just take this little thing here and the pump's running. I just stand here and I just water. I water my fish. I do use the Zis hatchery. You can get that at Aquarium Co-op or maybe Zis website. They're probably more expensive now than they are when I bought them. I can't remember how much they cost. I grabbed 2 of them. Or you can make your own. I did a video like that on how to make some. But these are nice, man. These are nice. If you're doing eggs or you're doing baby brine shrimp, right? You just fill this sucker up, or maybe actually go a little bit further down, right about here. Doesn't matter what your tap water is. You don't have to dechlorinate it or anything. Get the fish, get the brine shrimp eggs in here. You would do 2 teaspoons of salt, and then depending on how many eggs you want, right? So a scoop and a half, 2 scoops. Scoop usually comes with your brine shrimp eggs. Let that go for 24 hours. If it's hot, nice and warm, they're ready. If you have this thing inside and your AC's on, you're running 70-something degrees, 71, 72, I would let it go 36. But you can still do 24, but you'll yield more if you go like 36. You know what? I believe that, man. Corey's got some pretty fair prices. I believe that. You're right, Empire. I just can't remember. I'm sure his prices have gone up, though. Everything's gone up. I mean, I think I bought these maybe 2 years ago. I've got this one, and the other one's over here, actually. There you go. This one's got reminiscence of some methylene blue water I had in here. Like I said, normally I just do this method here, and I had some other eggs going on from another spawn from these guys here, and I thought, hey, you know what I'll do? I'll just take that slide, because most of the eggs were towards the bottom, and drop it in here, hook up the air bubbler, the water, the methylene blue, and then just let the bubbler go and see what happens. Well, nothing happened. Nothing happened. It doesn't mean it couldn't. I'm not done trying that method, but it was just a weak spawn, man. They all fungused really fast, and I just didn't catch it. Also, I would like to say on my Aqualife here, I would like to say that Melanie was kind enough to give me this too, but I did buy a new membrane, all the filters, you know, the carbon, the DI. I did all brand new, and then I went ahead and I went an extra step further, and I bought a digital TDS meter. It's got 3 sensors. So I've got the sensors hooked up into the system such that, I've got a Kinetico. I don't know if you guys have Kinetico in your area, but I got a Kinetico water softener. Everything coming out of there goes into here, obviously. But there was no point in measuring what TDSs are out of Kinetico. I have it from good authority that I probably have upwards of like 6 to 800 TDS is coming out of Connecticut, right? So I've got a meter coming in and giving me my TDS, total dissolved solids, after the water comes in and goes through these two chambers here, which is just the filter and then the carbon. And that's sensor 1, and of course it's not going to work right now because I can turn it on, but well, maybe that was the last reading. And that's about right. I get like 270 something TDSs. Then when I go to sensor 2, gives me everything, gives me my water, my total dissolved solids coming after the DI cartridge. And man, it goes from 270 to 2. Can't really see that, I know. Anyhow, to 2, and then you go to 1, and boom, I'm like at. You can't read it, but, well, it doesn't really matter what it says because it's not running. But typically that's 1 or 0. So that's kind of cool. I'm pretty stoked that I got that. Comes with a meter there for your PS, your PSI? Yeah. So 80 PSI on the water. You don't want to go higher than 80. The water is actually coming in from a spigot just outside, on the other side, outside the corner in front of my house. I just got it coming in through here, all the way back here, it feeds in. So that's pretty much my setup, guys. I'm not going to keep everybody too long. I really appreciate you sticking with me. I just wanted to throw something out. I guess you could say Empire, Mexicali. I was inspired last night. You guys are just chilling, man. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of you guys, man. I just had to go to work early the next morning, started a new job. I can't even mention it. It's part of my part of the deal getting employment with this place. But I'm totally stoked. Eventually it'll be work from home. So you guys have a good night, man. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe, share it. I can't wait to show you and how everything's gonna flow through here once I get everything in order. But I had enough order finally that I felt comfortable enough to start tonight with showing you what I had going on. It's a lot of work, man, as you guys in the hobby already know, and I just didn't have time to stop and film, every step of the way, or nothing was going to get done. I wanted to get all this set up before I started my new job, and so that's what I had to do. So you guys be good, man. 210 Aquatics. And we'll get you and see you in the next one. I'm signing off. Thanks for tuning in, man. Like, subscribe, and share it. Appreciate it. You guys have a good night, man. Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you know. I'll keep you, Empire, I'll let you know. I'll keep posting. You'll keep seeing, like, where they're at, once they start coloring up. If you want to take a few of them off my hands at a sooner stage, obviously I can get you more in a bag. It'll be cheaper. You can get more bang for your buck, as they say. But yeah, keep in touch with me, man, for sure. All right, man. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Oh, I might as well give y'all here. Y'all have a good night. Take care.